Many of you around Wales will have seen handwritten graffiti, a white background, red writing, reading Cofiwch Dryweryn. If you don't know what that means, it all started here. In the 1950s, Liverpool City Council evicted people from their homes from this area at Capel Celyn, from the village, to be able to provide drinking water from this reservoir, Eryri Reservoir, to provide drinking water for the people in Liverpool in England. We're currently in Wales. In Welsh, if you see wch at the end of a word, it means a command, cofiwch, to remember, Cofiwch Dryweryn. Remember these Welsh residents who were turfed out of their homes. We've had record-breaking heat waves this summer, and it means that the reservoir levels have dropped so low that you can still see the foundations from some of the buildings around the village that once lay here. This memorial chapel was built here in 1965 to commemorate the village, and it's built to kind of symbolise in the shape of a ship emerging from the lake below. It's actually built using some of the stones from the village, from the lake, which we can just see below. Stones from the original chapel and village buildings, and just next to it is a commemorative garden including some of the graves that were reinterred here when the village was flooded. These are just some of the pieces of pottery and metal and just household items that have been found around the area during the heat wave and the drought, that just show the items that were left here by the people who used to live here. And it really brings it home that this isn't just a lake and it wasn't just fields. This was a community with people in it, and these are the remnants of what was left behind. Although 35 out of 36 Welsh MPs opposed the plans and voted against the flooding, an Act of Parliament was passed that was sponsored by Liverpool City Council, which meant that there was a private bill and that the village could be evicted and the Eryri Dam erected. The way this came about, it actually led to lots of demonstrations and debates and protests as well, and actually led to the establishment of the Free Wales Army, or the Mudiad Amddiffyn Cymru. And actually in 1963 they blew up a transformer here on the dam in 1963. But just 2 years later, in 1965, the dam was completed and the valley was flooded, and it took out the village, the post office, the chapel, the cemetery, the school, houses and farms were all flooded. A lot of people were very sympathetic to this cause, and there was a rise in support for Welsh Parliament. And actually, because of the events that occurred here, it actually led to eventually the Wales getting devolved powers, the devolution of Wales, and having the Senedd here in Wales. And also the campaigns led to people being able to be educated through their own language, the Welsh language, formal education in schools. The thing that strikes me about this is that it wasn't actually that long ago this all happened, and the drought this year has really brought it home about the people who lived here. You can actually see the remains of their houses and their community, and really you can start to put yourself in their shoes as well. This was a community that was turfed out against their will, against Wales's will actually, for a different community a very long way away that would have spoken a different language and wouldn't have even known about the place their water was coming from. And I think it just makes you feel quite a bit of compassion for these poor people, really. How would you feel if you were told that you had to get out of your home, even though your own country had voted against that happening? I mean, today we'd be up in arms. This only happened about half a century ago. Please do share with other people who might be interested to hear more about what happened here not that long ago. If you are interested in hearing more videos about my adventures around the area, please hit on the subscribe button. Thank you. Bye bye.